Shit, fuck it. Let me feel my oats. Because it's fabulous. So anyway, let's get this kiki started, shall we? Hey, YouTube. What up, Pink ladies, T-Birds? Just happen to be watchers my shit. My name is Jimmi Pynk. And welcome to Ruvealed episode 4, season 6. Appropriately, even though if you watch my videos and you see in various places in my apartment, it's really about old Hollywood. But what an appropriate background today, because today's video is, and I'm going to back up, I thought I had this set up already. Today's video is, well, the episode was Shade the Rusical, and the runway was Tony Awards Realness, and I just realized I do not have my notes. So let me go do that. Peep my credentials. So anyway, as I stated, today's episode, the main stage, is Tony Awards Realness. So the look goes as follows. I'm giving you nominee for costume design for that off-Broadway play that wasn't supposed to make it to Broadway, but people love the costumes, and I ain't got that large coin yet, darling. So there are no Givenchy gowns. I'm not being reckless in my Givenchy gown. I'm being reckless in my sequence mini. And I had on my sequence shoes already, so I didn't want to wear them again this season. Unlike some other queens I know. Good thing I'm lactose intolerant. Shade. But anyway, a major thing I want to talk about is this episode, and I remember because I am a super Drag Race fan. Rewatching it, there was not a mini challenge, but originally there was. This is a very important episode because this is the episode where the mini challenge was the female versus she-male, and people were very, very offended from the trans community. Then they got pissed off about the whole you got she-male thing, and they scrapped everything. So now that it is re-airing, there was no mini challenge, and I didn't even realize it at first. I was just like, wait, how we just jumped to Ben and Adore are the team captains? How we just jumped to that? And then I remembered, once I'm watching the episode, I'm like, it's so short, and the runway went like this, and I'm like, damn, that's right, because they canceled the whole thing because it was transphobic. Okay, so it's supposed to be the Tony Awards, motherfucker. I'm playing the part. I'm at the motherfucker after party. First and foremost, I hate the big production number episode. Fucking hate it. I fucking hate the big production number episode. It started off in season 5 with the fucking ballet, and now we got a fucking musical. Here's my question. Do they make up some of these challenges after they cast the queens? And the reason why I say that is the year y'all decided to do Shade the Rusical, you just happen to have somebody that was on American Idol and somebody that was on Australian Idol, so you knew you had two people who could sing. And what would happen if they both ended up on the same team? I feel like the goddamn caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland right now. But anywho, I did take notes, but I hate this fucking episode. I hate the big production number episode, and then the runway was so fucking short, which is usually my favorite part, and knowing that because half of the episode, like a good 15 minutes of the episode had to be cut, it feels like a fucking waste. So, anywho, I'm not going to talk that much about the actual main challenge. What I will tell you is this is, of course, Courtney and Adore were the mains in their parts respectively. And, of course, they were the top 2 best along with Ben de la Creme, which was awesome. I think they shit on Trinity. I don't think Trinity should have been in the bottom. I don't think Trinity was the worst. I think, actually, watching the episode, I was scared for her going up to it. But when I watched her perform, I thought she did good. I really, really did. I thought she did good. But I just don't think... I think the whole trio of Jocelyn, Laganja, and April was just bad. I thought it was just bad. April, I feel like, was a victim of just being miscast. There were 2 acting challenges in a row, and she was just miscast for both. I'm like, you took this little tiny thing, and this time it was kind of her fault because she said, I'll do the big girl. I don't want to be the butch queen. But Jocelyn was the butch queen, and did she look like she was a butch queen? Was there anything that she said or did that made it seem like she was a butch queen? No. And you took this little tiny girl and patted her, and she was supposed to be the big girl. It just... I hate these fucking episodes. And I was not fucking entertained. Then the runway was cut short, bitch. Matter of fact, I think this was the episode. I think I had to work or something for season 3. If you watch my other reviews, you know that I attached links to them where I actually did review episode 1 and 2 of this season, and I quit. I think something happened with 3, and I was going to do 3 and 4 together, and I seen this episode and said, fuck it. So let's talk about the runway. So again, this Tony Awards realness, and they did it so fast that I actually had to go back and not only watch the episode, obviously, but I had to go back and rewatch the fashion photo review because I'm like, I can't. How am I going to go to my Pink Ladies and my T-Birds and, you know, talk about the looks on the runway when they went by like that? So I went back and watched fashion photo reviews so that I can actually see what the girls wore. So first was Bianca, and she had on this gold sequence number, red hair with feathers. Feathers had some gold slithers in them. She was giving me a little bit of Sexy Cowardly Lion, and I really, really, really liked it. Now you have to understand, before this, we haven't really talked about, I mean, they mentioned it that she sewed, but we really haven't talked about, like, this bitch is making everything that she brings to the runway. And I thought that this was, it wasn't an overly complicated design. It wasn't like this fanatical design, but she understands fashion in a way that she knows what works and what works for her body type. And I thought she looks lovely. Trinity K. Bonet in purple. I like the dress. Trinity really can do no wrong on the runway. Trinity is like the Black Roxy Andrews. She can do no wrong on the runway. She's always going to look fierce. I just felt like what she had on last week when she had on the orange actually looks better. But maybe she knew. The last week she did a little bit better because this week her outfit did seem to lend itself to the lip sync. So maybe she knew, like, I'm going to wear this because I'm probably going to be lip syncing for my life and I can move in this because it was fitted, but like it wasn't a skin tight. It wasn't like what Gia Gunn had on, like the mermaid dress. Like, she could definitely move more in it. It had, you know, it was down to the ground. It was a column, but it had flow to it. Like, maybe she wore this time because she knew that she was going to be in the bottom, or she felt like she might be a little bit more than she did the week before, and she knew she was going to be able to move with this. Darian Lake, I think it's unfortunate that she got assigned the St. Patrick's Day box in the first challenge because I'm like, I've already seen you in green sequence. I wasn't amused then. I'm not amused now. It wasn't bad. It was just really boring. And as a big girl, and I think the standard for a big girl as far as what we've seen on Drag Race for Eleganza is Latrice Royale. Like, being big, you get your shit custom made. Being big is not an excuse to have on a basic fucking shaped dress. Gia Gunn, like she had like the nude and the mermaid. Gia Gunn's another one, with the exception of last week with that weird fucking Ursula Sea Witch fucking helmet on. Gia really can't. I can't believe that she put that on for best drag. And I seen some of the shit that she was pointing out. But Gia really can do no wrong on the runway either. It was gorgeous. She was actually giving me a little bit more Oscars than Tony Awards. Like, I thought that dress was damn near too nice for the fucking Tonys. Ben de la Creme's red sequin number with the big dramatic shoulder that Cheryl Lee Ralph didn't like, and she took it off and said, yes. No, baby, this is drag. I loved that shoulder piece. What I didn't love was the black trim. I didn't love that black trim because I felt like that cheapened it a little bit. But as far as like everything, one shoulder and all the accent was on this side, like, I really liked that. Courtney Act and her Pynk. This is weird for me because I traditionally, and if you watch my reviews before, you know that I just like fucking freaked out over Detox and All Stars 2 reunion. And I used to freak out about kimchi with it. I love a monochromatic tone-on-tone look. I fucking love it. So the pink wig with the pink sequence gown, I liked. However, I didn't like the fucking gown. I felt like that was Grammys. Like, it didn't hit the floor. The slit was too high. The zipper placement was weird. Like, just a beautiful pink sequin gown in that color and that wig, I think may have just worked better. Like, I know I was like hating on Alaska for having on something basic, but if you ever watch the Tony Awards, then people don't be having on like the spectacular shit like it's the Grammys and the Oscars. So I think like just maybe like a basic pink sequin gown without the zippers and the high split to the floor, and the pink wig would have worked a lot better for me. Laganja and her black lace number, I liked the dress. I did not think the hair piece or necessarily the hair itself. I liked from the neck up for something different than what she had on with the neck down, if that makes any difference. If that makes any sense. From the neck down, speaking of Laganja, that's why I'm fucking up. But from the neck down, I liked her dress for the Tonys. From the neck up, I liked that for drag for something else. If that makes any sense. April Carry-On looks beautiful. I think she looks gorgeous in red hair. I think it's the first time we've seen it. She's always worn her natural hair color. I think she looks gorgeous in red hair. The gown was pretty. I've seen it done better. Was it Lanacia Sparks did a white lace dress that I was like, bitch. So now going back to see it, and I've seen other queens wear the white lace with the nude illusion in it. I've seen it done better, but it was still a good look. Jocelyn Fox, what are you doing? Jocelyn Fox had on a prom dress. I'm not even sure if that's a prom dress or if that was a fucking bridesmaid's dress. And that hair, bitch. That hair. That motherfucking hair was fucking terrible. But we're going to talk about that later on in the season. I do remember Jocelyn Fox. And that fucking necklace is back. I need to start putting a counter down there. People, if y'all watch my videos all the time, shout outs to Graphic Jack, K Diff. I'm sorry, I'm blanking, but these are people that I know watch my videos and they comment all the time. Listen, y'all, I'm giving y'all a task. How many times I'm going to talk about Jocelyn Fox having on that same necklace in a review? I know this is probably at least 2. I think this is at least 2. Count how many times I say she on that same necklace. And thank you. Milk. The pregnancy thing, I don't hate. I mean, if you're going to do a female illusion, women get pregnant. It was not a horrible idea. I mean, Natalie Portman won the Oscar at like 8 months pregnant and came painted, suited, and booted the house down boots like 8 months pregnant to win her Oscar award. So I'm not hating that she was pregnant. However, the look was busted. Shade. Them red. I loved this because she was the only one who did it. I wanted to do it, but I didn't have any ribbon to do it because I felt like that was quite appropriate. And she was the only one that had the brains to put like the AIDS ribbon. Because they do always have on something like that because it's always something on that they want to bring attention to. Bruh. But nobody would have put on red socks and shoes with that daisy on them. Graphic Jack, K-Diff, giving you another task. How many times I'm going to say Milk had them shoes on because this is too. Adore Delano. Wait, I want to go back to Milk. And then that hair, it was busted. Like, I do understand, and there are people at the Tony Awards, like I said, when I said I'm giving you costume designer realness, but it's on a budget. We ain't making the big bucks yet. Somebody might have supported us and put us on Broadway, and we only lasted 2 weeks. So it do be some people, like everybody is not suited and booted and gowned and painted and has somebody to paint them. And there are those people that have been on Broadway for years that might be set directors or script doctors, and that's just not them. They're not going to be glamorous. But that was busted. I'm sorry. Not for Drag Race. For a local show, for you touring and doing a number as Phyllis Diller or, but for Drag Race, no. Now we move on to Adore Delano. I really liked Adore's dress. Yes, I feel like it should have been longer. It is very obvious to me that was store-bought. It was also a prom dress, but it didn't read prom like Jocelyn's did. But it was a store-bought dress. I can tell by the construction of it, where the sheer was at. It was a store-bought dress. It was a pretty store-bought dress. But because in real life you are a man, and you're probably taller than the average female, the dress was short. And I disagree with Michelle saying, well, why aren't you cinched? Because the sheer panel in the dress would have been lost. And I think that was a benefit to the dress. I thought that made the dress prettier that it was sheer in the midsection. So I disagree with Michelle on that. However, the dress did need to be longer. And she was the last one. If y'all don't know, I need some of y'all kids to go look up y'all gay history and find out who y'all icons and shit is, because y'all need to know. But anyway, I felt like she was a fantastic judge. She was funny. She was bubbly. She clearly wanted to be there, and it wasn't scripted. Like, she clearly wanted to be there. She was having a fucking ball, and she gave excellent advice. Like, to put the cork in it, literally, that is an old musical theater. It's a theater trick, period, because it works good for your diction, for everything. Adore and Ben de la Creme. I agree with that. Courtney was the winner. I agree with that. The bottom two was April and Trinity. I do not agree that Trinity was the bottom. I don't agree that Darian was the bottom either. I don't agree with the bottom. But this is the 1 week that Adore wasn't in the bottom, and she shouldn't have been in the bottom. She should have been in the top. And they lip synced to, this is what it reminded me of. This is so crazy, because they lip synced to I'm Every Woman by Shaka Khan. The point I'm trying to make, just seeing the fire in that lip sync, that was a good, close, tight lip sync. It was well done. And then I'm just thinking about Thank you to my T-Birds. Pink ladies just happen to be watchers of my shit. But if you just happen to be watching my shit, become a pink lady or a T-Bird today by subscribing to my channel. And also, feel free to holler at me or talk to me or follow me on Twitter. It's spelled exactly the same way that it is here. Jimmi with an I, Pynk with a Y. So I want to thank you for coming back on this journey with me to re-watch season 6 and allowing me to actually review it this time. And thanks for watching. And just one more time for the cheap seats in the back, because I like them so much. I love these fucking boots. My mom bought me these boots. She was like, I found these boots. They look like you. I would get them for myself. Oh, my mom is flashy. My mom flashy as hell. She said, I would have got them for myself, but the heel is too high. And I said, I know who had to have them. My daughter. Love these fucking things. See that cuff match? Bam! Deuces.